All right, all you devils out there, happy Friday. We will get to the TA here on Bitcoin in just a sec here, but that, I guess this is specifically for YouTube subs or Twitter followers. Just a little update here. We've changed our format a bit. So it was those of you that follow along here know that often what we'll typically do is we'll poll all the members and pick the top 2 or 3. Well, just enough dialogue back and forth with members that now we're doing 12 to 15 coins in separate videos. Well, so I'll isolate the majors like we did today. Some members have already got Bitcoin. But then we do that polling. So rather than the detailed, very deep dive analysis that I'm prone to doing, we're doing maybe a degree higher. So, just looking today. So we've got I think it's 14 coins that we're going to go through. And I mention this for those of you that maybe have been on the fence about perhaps joining us over here on the social membership. So if that, TA on 14 coins at $1.60 a day seems like a reasonable value, right? There's more expensive, there's less expensive, but we think that that's very fair. And of course, keep in mind that gets you access to all the trading rooms. It gets you access to everything with the exception of the belt system, right? I think that's very, very reasonable pricing. So just keep that in mind, so that just lets you know. Of course, you can always join us for free if you want to ease into it, right? There's no commitment here. We're not going to spam you with a bunch of things. We have a hard enough time getting out the emails that we do. So just keep that in mind. That social is really good value, we think. And then if you like what you see and you want to take your TA to the next level, then the belt system is there for you if and when you get ready for that. So that said, I hope you don't mind here. Things I don't ever say. Go ahead and smash that like button. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can get the latest updates. But every now and then, we like to let you know that this is available to you, even though there's a full description with all the links underneath the video. Just a reminder. I think it's good value. All right. With that said, let's get on to the TA on Bitcoin. Okay. So let me. Let's go. This. I haven't touched this chart for a week. I don't think there's any reason to. Now we are maybe building a little base here, but I still just much prefer it. If we just looking right here, so we'd have the structure, we'd have the regression channel, the lower band, the Vegas wave, all of this support here. You got all this structure to play off with. That's what I'm looking for. I want that piece, right? From 10 to, well, really call it 10-1 to 13, pushing 14. Now, of course, nothing says we couldn't break there, but you can certainly anticipate we're going to, there'll be sellers up here defending, right? We know that's not going to be easy to get through. So you might anticipate we get up here, we get a push back, and then eventually reload to get through it. So I would be cautious if we got to move, or if you're long and we got up into that golden zone. Careful, right, about overstaying here. Again, right, it depends. Are you trading it, or do you have some investment that you've got some from lower prices? If you're just swing trading, careful about getting overly greedy there. Okay, so I think you just sit tight here. This area is just it's just so pretty. Right? Now, of course, right, always the risk that it may not. Here, we're going up here, but even if we hit that, if we do get that resistance, retrace. Keep that in mind, right? You don't want to force a trade. So sorry, guys. God, it's really bad for me here. So bad in Austin. But now I'm back to a 2-hour, and so here's the list of everything we've got coming. So a couple of you guys where you requested, like between 2 of you had 6 coins here. I'm requesting you guys take it down to 1. But we've got 12 others here that I think so it'll be 13, 14 we'll look at here once we finish here with Bitcoin, because there's just not a lot to add. So as I sit here, coming off of this low, so we've triple bottom here at the 38. I'm not working a detailed count off of this because it's not contributing to my analysis, not helping me. Like all of crypto, they all kind of done the same thing. Come here, never one click. Swing, sideways, swing. All right. So now we're retracing some of that, but we're finding some support here. Again, the Elliott count is really elusive here. The one thing where I think some Elliott here can be useful is what we're dealing with here up at this top. So let's see, maybe a 30-minute we'll do it here. So of course this wick here is problematic, right? So let's pull this off. No way to break that down. It's just just a free fall. Here's where perhaps a line chart can be useful, because if we eliminate that wick, even still with that, it looks like 535, right? Yeah, just good luck. Certainly, I don't think you want to go 1-2, 1-2. Well, I think that's a mistake. So you're almost forced into it. We have this massive sell-off wick here, and then we immediately go into an impulse, right? But then, you would have loved to have had we gone here, right? Then the Elliott count would have made sense. I think you're forced to go into an expanded B wave here, and now this is kind of, again, not great clarity here. Could we be done? Yeah, I suppose. If this is A, B, C, you put the wicks back on. I mean, obviously there's support here. The market is trying. You just look over here. You can see what the market's trying to avoid getting into this, where there's not any support until we get down lower. So it makes sense why bulls are trying to defend it here. What I would watch for, well, there's two things I would say here. One, the market the Elliott count, it hasn't revealed itself enough. Now, could you get a count on this? Oh yeah, you can get a count on it. Are you gonna have a lot of confidence in it? Well, I wouldn't, which is why I don't apply it. If it's not helping me, I don't want it on the chart. I'd be mindful of the fact that while this was a little shallow here, well, we had this here, right? It's 38, gets target, but it's, you're kind of trying to guess here. So there's a front, well, that could be what they used, right? But it's a secondary, convenient that lines up, but do we know that they used it? We don't really here, but this looks pretty good. But again, unless an algo is, a different algo is working with this off the 38, so because I'm not sure there, I just look and go, all right, well, somebody's there, right, defending. A, B, C, what would you have there? You'd be thinking 4 here, or A, B. It's too close to try and go 1-2. I mean, it's probably a tick off, but I would not be thinking 1. Shit, could you even get it? I would not be thinking 1-2. So again, Elliott is elusive here. Now note here, down on a 30-minute, I've got the 233 is above the Vegas wave. So trend is still down, and you have to be watching for the algo from above, right? Well, of course they're going to be there, right? We don't have to wonder about that. That on the lowest pivot here. So as we come back up, we get a 3. I'd be careful about that. And that would put us back down here on the edge of this gap here, where we just have no support, right? Because it went up so fast. Then we had this quickly rejected. Interesting, right? So you see what happens when we come down here, where there's just nothing. There's just an air pocket here. So that had the potential to keep going for whatever reason, right? It was quickly bought up. Right, so we have nothing here. So the one little tap down here, it's rejected so quickly, there's no base that builds. Now we've got a base here through, you can kind of, that's not hard to spot what's happening here. Right, all of that just coming from all of this. So we're kind of range bound here. I wouldn't be chasing anything here. I come back to this. Yeah, I love it. I love it down here. That's 10-1, 10-2. Buyer all day there. Until we get that, I think you're guessing here. If I have to guess, I don't want to trade it. Not in terms of adding anything new. I mean, even if I go a 3-hour here, it's kind of the same, right? This whole area is just, it's screaming, okay, potential support. All the structure. So then, even if you take the lowest wick from here, that right on there. Well, we know where the algorithms. Remember, an algorithm's not going to care that we have potentially an expanded B wave. They don't give a shit, right? They're just going to swing low, swing high, right? So we know they're going to be active here. We've got all this structure to play off, right? That's the next trade that I see. All right. Just, again, recognizing that you got to be watching for it whenever we get this pivot. If this breaks, right? If it holds, right? So if we're getting that kind of thing. Right, got to be looking for that. All right, guys, there's just not a lot to add, right? We've just kind of gone nowhere for the week. I think this is the best view here on the daily. Right, so I'd keep that somewhere. Okay, we got 12 coins to look at, so I'm going to wrap here on Bitcoin. This members here we'll put that. Oh, that'll be an educational and social channel for you. All right, so that I'll come back and work through those 12 or 14 coins, whatever it comes out to. Okay, guys, back to you shortly.